Today I'm going to talk about something wholesome and fun for the whole family. The Stockholm Beer and Whisky Festival 2019. Before I get started, I have to give fair warning that some of the footage might be a bit shaky and unstable. You can probably guess why. Oh, and subscribe to the channel as well to show your undying support. The Stockholm Beer and Whisky Festival is an annual event in the outskirts of Stockholm, and there's nowhere else you can see such a hive of scum and villainy. Or, well, mostly drunk hipsters to be honest. You know, the type of people who exclusively drink something unfiltered and or aged in oak casks. The main area has tons of breweries offering tasters of their beers. You pay a symbolic sum and then you can try out various exciting brews, like this one, called Autumn Blaze. Fun fact, just a couple of days before this we saw the Friendship is Magic episode with a Kirin called Autumn Blaze. Don't judge me. I never tried the Unicorn Glitter Lager though, I very much wish I had. There's also a lot of whiskey at the festival. You have the old classics like Macallan and Highland Park. Oh, by the way, the new Macallan estate isn't worth the price. I have to mention the Swedish whiskey called Mackmyra as well. The pride and joy of Sweden since 1999. And here's some Danish whiskey as well. Boo, we don't like the Danish. But okay, as long as they make whiskey, they're alright. Aside from whiskey, there was also American stuff like bourbon. Why would you call something Buffalo Trace? When I'm drinking, I do not want to find traces of buffalo. If you don't want to just run around tasting stuff aimlessly, there are also various tasting classes you can take, both for tasting beer and for whiskey tasting. I also want to be in those cool VIP areas, but it costs too much. You can also take simpler general classes in beer brewing and how whiskey is made and whatnot. I attended a beer lecture a couple of years ago, but well, I don't remember anything at all from it. When you get hungry, you will find plenty of ways to make you unhungry. Dig into cheese and sausages, for example, or various appetizers if that floats your boat. I'm not much for olives and stuff like that myself. The reindeer sausage was by far the best, but avoid the wieners, they're just boring old normal sausages. Or you can try burgers and stuff at the food court outside. Remember that Sweden in October is freezing though, -30 at least. You can also try various food indoors, like gyros or sushi, or just see what the weird food truck has to offer. Or try some mallard. It was salty but tasted really good. It's a hit with the ladies, but whatever you do, don't tease your significant other about eating cute ducks. I was almost forced to become a vegetarian after I joked too many. How about a cigar after the mallard meat? I don't smoke at all, but there's something really appealing about a big fat cigar despite that. Or a really tiny one. Size doesn't matter, right? If you're not into cigars, you can try some gelato instead. Or even better, chocolate. I ended up with raspberry chocolates. I do like nuts a bit more though. After all this beer and food, you will be tired. So try to find these small lounge areas hidden here and there. Sit down and watch people pass by and be happy with your life for a bit. I found a place behind a big potted tree where I could sit down for a while and sneakily shoot people walking past. But my rest didn't last long, because there's more to see. Across from the main hall there's a second hall filled with other types of spirits. How about some sake, for example? imported by the very Japanese-sounding sakeman and sakeson. Or maybe you wanna try some old-fashioned mead, brewed with honey or whatever natural sweetener they decided to go for. Or maybe a mojito for something really refreshing. Or some candy-flavored shots. That name, små shots, just means small shots in Swedish. Hey, now you've learned some Swedish. Don't you feel educated? We skipped the rock shots, but we did try some raspberry sparkle teeny stuff. A malt-based, not too sweet drink that was quite nice. More spirits you could find include the cinnamon-flavored Fireball whiskey and some good old plantation rum. I'm not really much of a rum drinker, but you know, when in Rome, do like the Romans. Get drunk on rum, that is. Maybe that phrase doesn't really work in this situation, right? Here's something odd for you as well. Swedish snuff. You know, tobacco that you place under your lip. I don't care for that, but I filmed this anyway because I lived in Skruv for 1 year. It's a small village with 300 people. I don't miss it. After you get properly sloshed, it's time for some fun stuff at the end of the evening. You can get a spontaneous haircut at various places. I have no idea why you do this, but hey, all ideas may sound good after a few hours at this place. If the band hasn't started yet, it's time to find other things to occupy your time with. Find competitions where you guess the number of caps in the beaker, for example. Or try your hand at some mini-golf. It wasn't all that easy after all. I don't think they need to worry about anyone winning the prize, ever. I just love how this guy prepares so much. He looks like a real golfer, and he probably knows his stuff. So he's going to sink the ball for sure, right? Not bloody likely. All in all, I had great fun at the Stockholm Beer and Whisky Festival. It's like a small amusement park for grown-up beer geeks. There's so much to try and you'll have a great time. Even if you don't like beer or whiskey, you will find other things to try here. So I have to give this a big thumbs up. Unless you don't drink, of course. If you want to stay sober, just skip this one and do something else cool, like the Bakery and Chocolate Festival instead. Well, that's all for now. Have a great day.